birthday present finally came in. I'm pretty excited about it. Forgive the surroundings. I'm in my garage, my new garage. My fiance and I just moved to a new place. Anyways, I've been waiting months for this. Finally, Lancaster Archery got them in stock. And that is the Trophy Ridge Digital React Pro. And now I got the 1-pin. There's also a 3-pin version that I've not seen even for sale yet. So I scooped up the 1-pin the moment that it finally came in stock. Pretty freaking pumped to unbox this, open it up. It seems, ever since months ago at the ATA show, they started putting out videos. I am a huge advocate for putting technology into things that didn't have it before and advancing it, especially when it comes to like digital readouts and things like that. So this, with my love for archery and the fact that this is like state of the art with a little mini computer in it, I'm pretty excited to try it out, and hopefully it's going to be as awesome as what I think it's going to be. Now I got the right hand version, of course, and the .010. All right, let's get to unboxing this thing. All right. Let's get into this unboxing. This is the best I can do right now for a top-down kind of unboxing deal. Hopefully this light isn't too bright over here. Anyways, real quick, mad kudos to whoever on their marketing team come up with this little holographic number changing display on the side to kind of depict it's freaking cool. That's just cool. Okay, let's get to unboxing this. All right. Thought I got all the tape off. Missed one, I think. There it goes. All right. Let's check this out. Tell you what, it is in here. As it should be. Very cool. All right, so in this box here, of course you've got your sight there. Let's see what's in this box. Oh, plug-in cube. Thank goodness. Man, I'm really getting sick of all these companies leaving this part out of stuff. I'm glad they decided to include it. Awesome. Oh, charging cable. Looks like it's got some links to it too. That's cool. Could have swore the back. Oh, there's stuff in the back. Ah, I see. Need to cut the tape off more. Here we go. There's my instructions, or manual rather. Some sight tapes. And then some brief instructions. I already actually read these online, so I should be good to go. Then of course, my sight. Pretty excited about it. First impressions. It's actually not as heavy as I thought it was going to be. I really anticipated this being a lot heavier, simply because it's got a lot more components on it weighing it down. Let me grab my tool here and take it off of this deal. All right. Kind of wish they gave me black screws with this instead of the silver. I think the black would have looked a lot better, especially since my bow is black. All right, so here it is. This is the Trophy Ridge Digital React Pro 1-pin. Man, I tell you what, it feels like a solid piece of work. My other sight that I've got on my bow right now is the Spot Hogg Fast Eddy XL 3-pin. Let me tell you, that has been a tank of a sight. It's awesome as well. But I'm really looking forward to having this 1-pin. So I'll probably keep that 3-pin for hunting season, just because I like having those other pins in there as backup. But this 1-pin, since I'm starting to this year is the first year I'm going to tax the Total Archery Challenges. If you're going to Tennessee, by the way, hopefully I see you there. And I just think a 1-pin sight like this would benefit me a lot more in that kind of environment. Plus, with the digital readout, I can quickly go to the range that I want to go to, and then focus more on my shot and hopefully not lose as many arrows as I probably will lose. What's a super cool feature about this that really turned me on to it and kind of was like a big selling point for me was not only is it the quick setting. So you set your 20-yard pin, then you can either, if you've got a chronograph, well, I do have one, so you can input the speed and it will go ahead and calculate the trajectory for all the other ranges and figure it up for you. The other way is you set your 20-yard pin and then you step back to any other known distance and fire, and then you set this to match that range that you're at once it's accurate, and then it's set. It does that react technology that I'm sure most of us are familiar with, where in the past you used to take your little Allen wrench and turn it up top and you'd watch your pins separate proportionally. Well, that's kind of what this is doing, except on a much more precise scale, because it's all computerized. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Let's rip this off right here. Oh yeah. I don't know about you guys, but that for me is really satisfying. All right, I'm pretty excited about this thing. So back to the selling point. One of the major selling points for me was that this can hold 5 profiles. 5 profiles. What does that mean? That means that the arrow that I commonly shoot, I can keep in profile number 1. Now, since I'm going to tax and I'm shooting the lightest arrow I possibly can, so that I can get the range that I want to get, if for some reason the next day it's super windy, or later on the same day it's super windy, and I need to up my weight so that I reduce the drift left and right from my arrow, so I can unscrew the 85 grain field tip that I've got on there, throw on the 125, change to profile number 2, and I've already had it set in for that, so I'm good to go. And then on top of that, I can then up the poundage of my bow from 60 up to the 75 that I hunt with, and then the other profiles can be for different broadheads that I've already zeroed in. So for me, having those 5 profiles, crazy amount of potential there for not having to sight in. Whereas before, I'd have to completely range this back in at 20 and 60 and then change out this sight tape all over again, which is a bit of a process. It's not, I mean, once you know how to do it, it's not the worst thing in the world, but for me, who likes to practice at 60 pounds and go to tax at 60 pounds, and then I throw on my 75-pound mods for hunting season, I like that versatility. Like that was worth all the $360 some odd dollars I'd paid for this. I just think that's going to be very invaluable this year. I look forward to using that feature quite a bit. And on the front here, there's a single, you loosen this and you can adjust both your windage and elevation right here just by loosening that. How freaking cool is that? Comes with a light. What else can I talk about here? I mean, this is just an absolute unit, you guys. I'm excited to slap this on my bow, see what it looks like, and let's get going. slapped on the bow. It is significantly smaller, actually, than my 3-pin Fast Eddie XL. Yeah, like, that's probably why I'm surprised by the weight. It's because I'm used to that. So they may actually weigh the same, considering how small this is. It definitely has a smaller profile. Let's turn it around here. Pretty pumped about this, guys. All right, now I'm gonna run up the street a little bit to my Bowtech, have him throw on the Hamskia leveler, and get all my axes set. Then I'll see how it shoots. Be back with you later. Boom, baby. Oh yeah. All right, so it's actually a week later from the last time from the time I put this on my bow. Took it to my Bowtech. He leveled everything out, super easy, super simple. Got back home, only had a few minutes before it started raining, so I didn't film it, but I went ahead and used my chronograph and got my 303 grain arrow for my 60-pound, 29-inch draw set up. And it was super simple. Very, very, very simple. Followed the little quick instruction guide kit that comes with it, or that slide, the piece of paper that comes with it. Yep, I found my 20, used the micro adjust up front here. Let's see if y'all can. Use the micro adjust all up front here, which is super great because this is a one turn and you can adjust both, turn and lock it down. Plus this can be adjusted, so if you don't like the fact that it's right here, you can unscrew it and it's got holes all the way around so that you can lock it in wherever you think is aesthetically pleasing, I guess. But once you've rack it all the way to the top, right? Use the micro adjust, find your 20. Then from then on, I use the chronograph. Or the other way is to step back to 30, then use the dial, go down to 30 and adjust it. No matter what it says, set that at 30. And then of course the React technology does what it does, like it does in all those sites where you used to take the Allen wrench and turn the tops. It does that same thing except on a much more precise way because it's all digital now. But I used the chronograph, found my speed, plugged in my speed, and that was it. I was like, you know what, fine, let's test this thing out. Let's go straight back. I went back to like 37, which is an oddball yardage, turned it to 37, drew back, shot, dead on. 3 arrows, all horizontal plane, dead on. Thoroughly impressed. It was freaking cool. So what I'm going to do today though, what I'd really like to see is that profile feature. So what I've got is I have zeroed in my 303 grain arrow, but let's say it's now deer season and I either up my poundage and change my arrow to this 523 grain arrow. It's definitely going to change what you have to do sight-wise. So let's change the profiles on this and then switch it over to be able to shoot a heavier arrow accurately. And again, I'm going to use the chronograph just because that was so freaking smooth and easy. I am going to follow that method again. So let's go. Okay, so profile 1 is what I'm in now. And so I'm gonna try to do the best and show you guys me switching to the second profile and then setting it for my heavier arrow. So it says that I see numbers, so that means I've got to press and hold mode to get to this. And then I'm going to hit it again to go to set. It means I want to set something. Hit select. PRC, I now need to scroll until I see that's brightness, it's units. There it is, Pro. Pro stands for the profiles. Press select. Now I have 5 profiles I get to choose from. Right now I'm in profile number 1. I'm going to hit select to go to profile 02. Press and hold to engage that profile. There it is, profile 02. All right, now I'm going to set it like I did with the 303 grain arrow. I'm now going to use the 523 grain arrow, get my chronograph speed, go back to my 20, adjust the dial, not the micro, but just the dial, set that at 20, and we'll see if this works. All right, this is going to be Easton FMJ with 125 grain field tip, 523 grains total, 60-pound draw at 29 inches. Let's see what my chrono says it's shooting at. .427 for the first one. What I'm going to do is shoot 3 and take an average, you know what I mean? I think that'll work best. See, that's 427. Duplicate at 427. That's good to hear. I like consistency. I'm sorry, what did I say? 427 meant 247. Sorry, guys. A little dyslexic today. And another duplicate. So all 3 are 247. Almost did it again. All right, so let's pull these arrows. I'm gonna bounce back to 20. Dial in, not gonna micro adjust, just dial in and set that 20 pin and then put in the chrono speed and we should be dead on. Then we'll go straight back and I'll go through that whole process so you guys can see how easy it is. All right, once again, 20 yards, Easton FMJs with 125 grain tip. 60 pounds, 29-inch draw, Matthews V331. Bam. Just a touch. Looks like it's just a touch. Nope, I got one on the line and one about half an inch below the line. So that's pretty freaking dialed in at 20 for me. So what I'm gonna do now is take you through the process on the site of adjusting the rest so I can shoot from further distances. So let's do that now. Okay, so it says to power it on. Remember, I'm in profile number 2 and it should say REA. So we're ready to get started here. Now it does say to turn this dial till you're all the way up, but I don't want to do that because I have already set my lightest arrow with the micros. So anything heavier than that, I'm just going to use that dial and adjust. I think that makes the most sense. So since I'm here, I'm going to press select and it's going to say first. It means, okay, put in your first distance. I press select again. 20 yards. Yes, I am at my 20-yard mark. And so this is exactly where I want it to be on that dial for 20 yards. Now I need to press and hold select. All right, it blinked. And then that means my 20 yards is now locked in. All right. Now I need to go to speed. So I'm now going to hit mode. I'm not going to put in a second distance. I'm going to put in a speed. See that? SPD, speed. Hit select. Now, mine was 247. So now I'm going to dial this up till it says 247. Oh, I am going the wrong way. Sorry, I'm trying to watch the camera, keep it in focus, and go through this with you guys at the same time, so bear with me. All right, there we go. 247. All right, so now that I'm here, all I need to do is press and hold select again. And once that's dialed in, we're good to go. It should be like it's calibrated. I'm ready to start shooting. If you notice as well, I changed the color of my background to green. There's a lot of different colors you can choose from too, and I just think that's a nice little fun touch. Along with everything on this site, it's pretty freaking just fun touch. All right, so I'm going to just step back to, I don't know, 37 again and fire away, because now this, even though it's not at the top, I've set this level to be 20. So now whenever I turn this, we will see that it's going to adjust accordingly. And the maximum I can shoot now with this, probably hit the fletchings right there, is 78, 80-ish. So I'd say that adjusted correctly, because the maximum I could do before I hit the fletching on my other arrow was about 125. So that makes sense. All right, let's step back and take a shot and see how it works. Matter of fact, I'll keep the camera rolling just so that you guys can see that I didn't make any extra adjustments off of camera or anything like that. All right, set you guys here. I can guess. There we go. All right. Sorry about my neighbor's house in the background there. Let's see what distance I'm at here. .38. All right. So set this to 38. There we are, 38. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Try to get that in focus real quick. I don't know if you could see it or not. Just have to trust me. It's at 38. Bam. It's dead on. Tell you what, this thing's amazing. Just absolutely amazing. Trophy Ridge, you really outdid yourself on this site. It's dead on. I don't know what more to tell you guys. Get this site, especially, because think of all the other applications that you can have with this site. We walk down to the arrows. So you've got one sight that you can either throw on multiple bows without changing for 5 different profiles, or you can have one bow like what I have here, and I can carry different weights for shooting tacks and then 2 different weights for hunting season. So if you hunt elk, turkey, and deer all in the same year, you don't have to change anything except the profile right here. Instead of going through doing the sight tape business and all that, those days are behind me anyways, for sure. Yep, I'm pretty excited about this. Let's go. Okay, so I want to give another quick demonstration of the profiles and how I can bounce back and forth between arrows real quick. For example, the first thing that comes to my mind, simply because I've got my tacks coming up that I'm really excited about, it's my first one, pretty pumped about it, is if I get out there and all of a sudden the wind picks up in the middle of the day, or it's really windy, or for example, it's a really long target and I might want to shoot a cheaper arrow and not use my expensive arrows in case I bust it or lose it, I can switch to that arrow via the profiles on here with just a flip of the buttons there. At least that's how I've got it in my mind. Let's see just how practical that is. So I've got my 523 grain arrow in here. Turn my dial to 20. I'm at 20. Oh, that's interesting. So if you go up above that 20, it then goes to 95 for some reason. So that's interesting. But I'm back at 20. I'm at 20 yards. Let's go for the crosshairs here. All right, it's a touch low, but I was aiming right there. So now I want to go back over and shoot my lighter grain arrow. So let's do that. All right, I'm gonna press mode here, press and hold. All right, gives me that option. I wanna go to set. Yep, I need to set something. Nope, I need to go to PRO. There it is, Pro. I want to go to go to number 1 profile. Yep, that one there. Oh shoot, I don't think you guys can see what I've been doing. Well, there it is, profile 1, bouncing over to it, press and hold select. All right, then I'm just gonna turn it off, turn it back on, and I should be good to go. Yep, so it's already telling me right off the bat that I'm at 29, which I was at 20 for the 525 or 523 grain arrow. So let me put in my 303 grain arrow. I've done nothing but change profiles. Same distance, same everything, same poundage, same draw, all blah blah. Just change profiles and arrow. And it's dead on. Both arrows right beside of each other. I don't know what more you could want out of a sight. Like, I'm genuinely trying to, I'm really trying to think of what more I could want. The only thing that I will say is on their website, if you're just a huge dovetail advocate and want that dovetail, which I did kind of like it, then they do have a dovetail that you can purchase, and it just bolts on right here instead. So you can completely swap that out right here at this single joint and get your dovetail on there. Other than that, man, I really can't say enough good things about this sight. Like, yeah, I'm pretty pumped about it. Pretty pumped. Heck yes. Let's go. There you have it. That top one there. This one is my 523 grain arrow on profile number 2. And this one is my 303 grain arrow on profile number 1. I don't know what more you could really want out of a sight. I keep saying that, and I'm genuinely trying to think of something else that I would want. Like, oh, it'd be nice if it had this feature. But I really can't think of anything more that I would need, like, at all. Only catch is it does not power off by itself. I will say that, I mean, I don't know, maybe put it on like a 5-minute timer, perhaps, or 10 minutes, something like that. But other than that, I'm not sure what, like, if I'm really nitpicking, that's the one thing, it doesn't cut off by itself. You have to press and hold and cut it off, so you're at risk of running the battery down overnight if you forget to turn it off. I can't think of anything. Hey, if you liked this video or learned anything and want more content like this, make sure to like and subscribe. Y'all know the deal. Help me out. Leave comments down below, especially if you want to see something else from this site. Let me know, and I'll do my best to get you the video and the content that you want. I'm pretty excited about this. I may do a arrow build video because these are my very first, well, full arrow builds, where I took the shaft of these Victory RIP XVs and made them specifically for tack. So I went as minimum weight as possible. See how that turns out. Might do a video on that. If you guys want to see that, see anything else, let me know, and be glad to do a video on it. Thanks. Out.